We're not good at introducing ourselves. We are the Champas.
I'm Luke.
And Ashley.
And we have a daughter, Agatha. We call her Aggie.
We also have another daughter, Eloise,
Yep.
who was born April 21st, 2020.
And she had a unique circumstance. She was born with TGA, which is a congenital heart defect that was discovered at an ultrasound in December, about a week before Christmas.
You go into that 20-week appointment. We were just excited to see boy or girl. And if we hadn't, who knows where we would be at right now.
The pediatric cardiologist in Fargo said that baby would need a procedure in the first week of life, and they wouldn't be able to perform the procedure in Fargo, so we had to seek care in Minneapolis and moved there 4 weeks prior to her due date. Someone, put me in touch with member advocacy and said they help you navigate the insurance situation, and I got put in touch with Julie at Blue Cross, and she was our member advocate. She said she was happy to take on our case. She just asked a little bit more about the condition of Eloise and kind of where we're going to be treated. And after that, it was like, stress was out the window. She took care of everything.
Our main worry once we had her was Eloise, and we didn't have to worry about, cost and was this coded right? Is this covered? Are they charging us for extra things? Or, all of the worries that go into your mind of we're having all these procedures, all these surgeries, and what does that entail? We didn't have to worry about that. We also were dealing with COVID.
It was just a couple days after the governor of Minnesota, declared a stay-at-home order, and all the businesses, in North Dakota and Minnesota were shutting down. So we went down late March. I think it was around the 29th. We had to find an Airbnb.
Julie was actually able to even look up some housing spots for us in case we needed them, because we had informed her of our issues and bumps along the way with COVID, and so she did some research of her own of just places for us to stay, and we all came upon the same apartment, and we went with it. After 3 weeks, they decided that if I didn't go on my own, they were going to induce. And Eloise came into the world at 4 o'clock in the morning on the 21st of April. Immediately upon birth, I got to hold her for 3 seconds, and they whisked her off into another room where she was intubated. Her oxygen levels were so low that they had to do that right away, and then she was taken upstairs for a procedure.
It's a catheter procedure. They go through an artery in the leg. They pull a hole through the heart so that her oxygen levels would be more stable. She had an adult-sized ICU bed, and there's all these pumps of medicine and lines of IVs, and it was a shock for me, at least, to see that right away.
Yeah, definitely. And then after a couple hours there, her oxygen levels were plummeting down into the 30s. She also had pulmonary hypertension.
To treat the pulmonary hypertension, they had to introduce nitric oxide. Her oxygen levels started coming up to a normal level for TGA, which is around 80%.
And then it was day 2 of life, and she was going in for her open heart surgery.
It's called a arterial switch operation.
The surgery alone is only like 3 hours, but the process of getting in there, getting ready, and then getting out was 9 hours, I think. The cardiologist ended up coming in and telling us everything went well. The surgery was successful, so we figured we would go and get a bite to eat. We came back, and the nurse kind of had a look on her face. The cardiologist came back in, and he said there was a change of plans, and things didn't go as well as they were supposed to.
Eloise had a pulmonary hypertensive crisis right before they were going to close up, and basically her heart started to fail because of that, and she recovered. But as a precaution, they sent her out on ECMO, also known as life support. That was a really hard day.
Yeah, I think that really hit me that day. Not only did she have all these breathing tubes, but now she has more tubes added in, and she was so swollen and
Yeah, it's just hard to see a little kid in that condition.
pain medications, her oxygen. Everything was a slow process of weaning her off of all of the supports that she had only known. It had been over a month before we got to actually hold her. Then it gradually moved to feeding her, and once you get over the feeding aspect and you're able to take medications orally and they take that feeding tube out, then we got the go-ahead to come home.
We were just so excited to get home. That was a great day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're here in Fargo and just socially distancing very strictly, and things are going well, I would say.
Yeah. Life is getting back to the new norm with two little ones.
Our family is spending a lot of time together. Aggie is a great big sister. She really has filled that role.
Things could be a lot different, but with Blue Cross and everything they did for us, a lot of things behind the scenes that you don't see that luckily Blue Cross was able to handle for us.
You kind of wish you saw like who to thank, who to write a thank you note to, but you don't, they don't ask. So it's remarkable work that they do.
Yeah.